Hey, welcome back to the show. This is Dan, and I'm going to talk about one of my favorite movies of all time. I will see you on the inside.
Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
The other day, I was with my son and my 11-year-old, and we were, I think it was New Year's Day. I was off for the day, and we'd done some little light workout. We got some meals together for the day, cut up our vegetables and stuff because I'm on this program. And I asked him, what did he want to do today? And he goes, would you mind if I actually watch with you Rocky 1, Rocky 2, and Rocky 3? Now, he's 11. And I looked at him and I was like, you really want to do that today? Now, I've seen Rocky 1, 2, and 3 hundreds of times. I mean, it's one of my favorite movies. And let me explain why. When I was a kid, my dad ended up one day, it was a Saturday. It was a cloudy day. It was like fall or winter, whatever it was. Couldn't do much. And I'm playing by myself in my room. I don't remember what I was doing, but my dad came down to my room. I lived in the basement. My brother was next to me in his room. My dad built these rooms out for us. This is pretty cool. He comes down and he goes, hey, get your coat on. We're going to the movies. And I think I was 7 years old at the time, 1977. And I don't remember which movie we actually saw, if it was 1 or 2. I think it was 1, but I'm not sure. And we went to go see the movie, and I didn't know what we were doing. I just got to hang out with my dad. My dad was a loud person. His voice scared me. He was a good guy. He was an intense guy. I think he was a nervous guy. And he was a tough guy for sure. And he decided, what we're going to do on this Saturday. Mom's out doing something. My other sisters and brothers were gone. And he just decided to take me to the movie theater. Just me and him. I cannot stress the importance to you as a parent to spend time one-on-one with one of your children. If you've got 5 children, pick a day and spend time with that one child. My kids of all, my Madison, my Luke, Christina, Max, and even my oldest stepdaughter, Natalie, have all appreciated the time that I spend with them individually. It's very heartwarming when the kids tell you, hey, I'm glad we just got to spend this time together. I love spending time with everybody, but the one-on-one time is pretty amazing too. It's a gift when you can give that back to your kids, but it's more importantly what they give you in return, the acknowledgement to say that they valued the time with you. My dad did that with me. So we went to go see a movie. We didn't talk. Popcorn, I remember that. That was a big deal. I don't want to say that my dad was cheap, but my dad was cheap. So for him to buy popcorn at the movie theater, that was a big deal. And I think we had sodas too. So we watched the movie and it was Rocky. And the reason why I'm talking about this is, one, there's so many significant things about Sylvester Stallone's movie, how it was made, how it got produced, the challenges that he went through, how the movie was created, and due to low budget, some of the technologies that we see in movies now today that you see in every movie. The Steadicam, that scene where Rocky is running up the steps, when he's defeated and he gets to the top and he can't make it. To the final scene where he, at the end of the training montage, he runs up and he's champion, and the way that camera goes around him and it goes up the side and then it goes around him and you could see all points of view, and also the fighting scenes. If you looked at fighting scenes, and I'll tie this up, you looked at fighting scenes, previous to this movie, it was the jab, jab, punch, jab, jab, punch, jab, jab, punch in the ring, outside of the ring. And it was very first person. It was very, it was bad. I don't know how to put it. It wasn't very realistic. But then you look at what they did in this movie, and because of low budget, they created a certain camera apparatus. I think it was called the Green Machine. I'm not sure about that, but you can check that out on some of the history websites or whatever. But I think it was called the Green Machine, and because they didn't have the budget for the rails to produce a movie. When the camera goes, they have it on rails and somebody pulls the camera as it goes. They created this instead because they didn't have the budget for it. That's fascinating alone. But we see that Steadicam in the Jason Bourne movies and action movies. Another cool scene that would have never happened in the movie was when Rocky is actually punching the meat and he's walking through, and Paulie, Burt Young, is moving the meat back and forth, the hanging carcasses. When he's moving those, that would have never happened because the rail system in there wouldn't have allowed that scene to happen. It's because of this type of camera apparatus that they had to secure the camera, the Steadicam, that this was able to be filmed. So you got the running scene, you have the boxing scenes, you have the meat slaughterhouse, whatever, the butcher area, and then you have the fight scenes or the running up the stairs scene. So you have all these things because of a low budget movie. It really was low budget at the time. You have a movie that the main actor, nobody wanted him in there. They thought it was going to be somebody else. The lead actor, square jaw, brown hair from The Lords of Flatbush. The script that he went in to read for, he wanted to go sell them, I think, Paradise Alley. And they said no to that. And then he said, Sylvester Stallone said, I got another movie for you. I've been working on it. It's a script. And that's the script that we know as Rocky Today, which I think was written over the course of a weekend. Fascinating things about the movie and just that whole thing. And I think I could get a PhD on my history of it because of my appreciation for the movie and appreciation for Sylvester Stallone. Somebody asked me if you could drive with anybody across the country, who would it be? And I said Sylvester Stallone. Why is that? He's one of the most successful people that I'm aware of. And the way he did things, anything that he got involved in when it came to a movie, laugh at him all you want for Rambo, for his talk, for his speech. He is a hardworking perfectionist, and he makes blockbuster movies, and he does it with will. Why do I know all this? Why am I passionate about it? Why do I take this to sales training? When I would travel around the country, I would talk about my story about Rocky in the movie and the impact that it had on me and how it relates to sales, how it relates to life, how it, when you don't have very much, how does that relate to working? The whole story parallels his personal life with what we go through, the underdog story in every movie. It's almost the perfect movie. And I say this because my dad spent time with me and took me to a movie. That's why I'm so... Think about that for a minute. Because my dad took the time to spend with me and took me to a movie, because of that, I have a love of boxing. Because of that, I'm a big fan of Sylvester Stallone. Because of that, I was able to share that moment with my son, who asked me, because he knows how important it is to me. Take a step back, working at a car dealership till like 10 o'clock at night. I walk in the door at 11 o'clock at night. My daughter, Madison, she ends up getting up. I think she was either 3 or 5 at the time. I don't know. This is right before the big divorce that I went through. But I remember coming home at like 11:15, and we had a TV in the kitchen, and we had a little couch in the kitchen. And I just remember I made a sandwich on the stove, and an egg sandwich or something like that when I got home. And my daughter Madison comes down in her little nightgown, and she sits on my lap, and we're eating an egg sandwich. And her mother comes down and asks the question. This was awesome. She goes, "What are you guys doing?" And my daughter is like 5 years old and says, "Shh, we're watching Rocky and eating an egg sandwich right now." And it was one of the cutest moments that I remember because I watch it every time it comes on. And I had a great moment with my daughter. I had a great moment with my son. And he wanted to watch 2. And he wanted to watch 3. And he stayed tuned, 11-year-old, who's, on his phone, who's playing video games, who loves sports, who can't sit still, sat still for all of those shows while we just hang out, ate a couple of snacks, and watch these movies together. And we have that time together where we basically binged watched the first 3 Rockies. I think it's a good thing to consider when this podcast, The No Comfort Zone, as adults, we get so caught up in our own realities and our own personalities and our own drama. You forget about the kids, and we go to a job to work to earn money to support the kids and stuff. But I'm just saying this at 50 years old, having an 11-year-old, I've made a ton of mistakes in my life with all of my kids. Tons. I didn't put them first all the time. And I demanded they put my work first. That's wrong. I know that's wrong now. But that's why we live, and that's why we learn. Now we have knowledge, which turns into wisdom. I have that wisdom now, and I understand how important it is to develop your children, but just by spending time with them. So I talk a lot about personal growth and personal development, but there's a lot of parents that listen to this podcast too. And I want to share something with you. You as a parent are worthy, and you are worthwhile. By taking just a minute and a moment to stop in your day, to spend that time with your children, it's invaluable. I see that now, and I see it as my children are becoming adults. It's a joy to be with them. But I look back over my kids and, ranging from the 25-year-old that adopted me down to my 11-year-old and everybody in between, my Maddie and my Luke. I look back and I'm like, I made a lot of mistakes, but at the end of the day, I'm still their dad. At the end of the day, I still have the great love and appreciation for all my kids. But more importantly, it's forgivable. It's forgivable of any mistake that I might have made because I have genuine love in my heart. And I learned that from my dad, who took a minute out of his day. Let's go see a movie. Today's the day that I hope you, the listener, get outside of your comfort zone and live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at No Comfort Zone 1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.